and sports show on Utter Radio.
Good evening and welcome to
Online.
the News and Sports Show this week. We've got a belter coming up for you as always, ready to go through all the news and sport of the weekend and this week. I'm James Sutherland, and with me we're going to be discussing Sir Keir Starmer's fuel duty. Will it be scrapped due to the conflict in the Middle East? More pressure ramped up on the Prime Minister due to the Lord Mandelson links. And in the Premier League, we're going to be talking about rounding up some of the Premier League news, as well as England's failures in the Champions League today, in this week. Sorry. So, I'd say James Sutherland, Aidan, we'll get straight into it. Let's go to the. Shall we go straight to the fuel tax hikes?
Online and on the TuneIn app, this is Utter Radio News.
Well then, breaking news, we do have some new items coming up throughout the show. That was the new sexy news one. We'll have a sport one later as well. My campaign paid off. So Ian, let's put our serious heads on now, because it's very serious news to get into. Basically, not the Iraq war, that's 2003, I'm going back a couple of years now. The Iran war is it's messing everything up. Yeah. Basically, the world sort of been flipped on its head, and one of the biggest things is oil prices, specifically fuel tax hikes. So basically what's gone on is that the Prime Minister has had to put he said that a fuel duty from September will be put under review due to all the conflict that's going on in the Middle East at the moment. The tax rate on petrol and diesel was due to rise in September, whilst the 5p cut that was made after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine is set to be phased out over a 6-month period. Sir Keir told MPs that the fuel duty is frozen until September. He said that we'll have to keep the situation under review in light of what's happening, obviously, in Iran. And the Kemi Badenoch, who's the leader of the Conservative Party, has predicted that Starmer will be forced to announce another humiliating U-turn, telling him to scrap the increase. She said specifically, do you want to read what Kemi's said, Aidan, her quote?
Yeah, so she said that Labour think drivers are a cash cow, and now they're hiking fuel duty for the first time in 15 years. She added, everyone in this house knows the pattern. He'll first march his backbenchers up the hill, then they'll be forced to defend fuel duty rises in local elections, then there will be another humiliating U-turn.
Yeah, and she also finished up by saying, so why doesn't the Prime Minister stand up and admit he's got it wrong again and scrap the fuel duty hike now? The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, on Tuesday emphasised that fluctuating oil prices and described the situation as very volatile, and said that she'll commit to keeping things under review. So the simple question is, do you think that tax hike on fuel should be scrapped?
I don't know if it has to be that extreme. Maybe lowered. I think it doesn't really. I mean, it's the first time they've done this in a long time. I think it's gone up, and they probably need to be cautious with it. And this government is certainly cautious with a lot of things, because of what's going on abroad.
Yeah.
And it's probably it's particularly from the Labour's position, they're coming under enough pressure as it is.
Yeah.
I think, to make another decision that the public or the majority of the public necessarily don't like.
I think something for me that Labour need to be very careful of is that motorists in this country already. I mean, last week there was talk of panic buy of diesel. The price of diesel's gone up. I don't know if you've noticed it. It's really exploded overnight, from the £1.30s 2-3 weeks ago. Because I drive a diesel car, so unfortunately, I know firsthand how expensive the price of diesel is going on, and it's showing no sign of slowing down either. So unfortunately, it looks as if that that's a situation which, as long as the war goes on, it's only going to keep increasing. So for me, if you were to put tax on that as well, on fuel prices, for me, it would be insult to injury for drivers.
Yeah, I think, like everything with this war, I think in the end the consumer, the people on the ground, pay the price inevitably. I think you're already starting to see that with the price of fuel.
Yeah.
It's gone up ridiculous amounts over the last week, and it's not just going to be fuel. I mean, if you look at as we get more involved, which it seems like we are going to, you can see more such as consumer goods, like just food imports, because we import most stuff from in this country. A lot of it is homegrown, but not enough as it should be, and it's a lot of imports that are gonna pay the price, and therefore me and you are gonna pay the price in the end.
And also going back to transport and diesel prices, petrol hasn't been affected too much right now, but diesel fuels so much of our heavy transportation, lorries, trains, buses. That will also, a tax hike on fuel will also not just affect direct consumers, people who buy diesel from the pumps. It will also people who travel on the railway, people who travel on buses.
It's just transport as a whole. It's just
exactly.
It's just going to, and that then in turn affects the productivity of the country. I mean, how many people rely on the public transport, trains, trams? I mean, trains are never on time anyway. but
people rely on them.
No, that's what
livelihoods.
I mean. And it's just going to affect the cost of everything. I know there's talks of plane prices going up. I mean, nobody's doing too much flying at the moment anyway with what's going on.
Yeah.
But the price of fuel is beyond compare anywhere, from whether it's a car, diesel, plane, whatever sort of transport. I mean,
well, the BBC said on Tuesday that Reform UK set out a series of cuts to green levies, saying that it would use to cover the cost to the Treasury of keeping the lower rate in place. This includes scrapping government grants to encourage people to buy heat pumps and electric cars, and £9.4 billion in subsidies for carbon capture and storage units. Storage projects allocated by ministers for the next 3 years. Very strange to hear Reform coming out with sustainable and green strategies there.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Is that something, do you think, Reform genuinely believe in, or do you think that's something that they can just stick one up to Labour on?
I think it's the latter, to be honest. When I look at that, all as I see is just say, I recognise they've done something the public don't like.
Yeah.
We won't do that. We'll do something better.
I don't look at them. I don't think they're bad ideas at all, though.
No, they're not bad ideas, but I don't think it'll be the Reform Party to. I don't.
No,
it'll be them to deliver that sort of idea.
I did see. That looks like something more that the Greens would set out, actually.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, how much? I saw quite a few things that Greens and Reform have in common, actually, in terms of being the outsiders to the we're going off topic slightly, but the outsiders to the two big centrist parties, if you like. But I mean, as I say, people who are currently using electric cars. That's a good question, actually. Do you think we have a question here? How will the war in the Middle East affect the UK? Do you think potentially people could think, actually, oil is dodgy in the sense of we're very reliant on the Middle East for oil. Middle East is extremely volatile region of the world. It has been for a long, long, long time.
You ask yourself why, though. It's because of the fact that there's basically not unlimited, but there's a wealth of oil.
Yeah, but the consumers, you and me, are thinking, I don't want to be held. I'm talking for myself here. You start thinking, you don't want to be held to ransom forever, do you? By fluctuating oil prices.
Of course.
Electric the way to go.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, yeah, if you can get it to work sustainably.
Yeah. But for the consumer, I'm saying, for the man in the street, it's a logical step, isn't it, to think that I'll get an electric car so that, I'm not as held to ransom as the price of oil and diesel. Petrol.
Financially, maybe. I mean, I think the whole idea of electric cars are. I mean, some of them are really good and efficient, and they're very powerful. I mean, they definitely do the job as an alternative, but it's just whether people would prefer that, and I don't know if they would. I actually think in terms of, I mean, we suffered this sort of similar thing initially in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine, and then the price of oil, the price of fuel shot up massively, and it's almost similar thing happening again now. So we've been through this before, and I think the economy really hasn't recovered since COVID.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to have a big effect, and we'll only see them in the next coming weeks.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about the war in Iran all day, because it's not just affected the social fabric of the UK with Iranian communities here going out protesting. There's been obviously the economic impacts, the cultural impact, but we do have to move on now. We are shifting gear a little bit. We're still going to carry on with the politics. We're going to talk about another aspect of our governance, which is the Prime Minister and his links to Lord Mandelson. Today, Keir Starmer has said that he made a mistake appointing Lord Mandelson as the US ambassador. He has apologised, but he has denied claims of a cover-up within the government.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to tell us? Remind listeners, viewers, what Lord Mandelson is actually accused of here?
Yeah. So the Epstein files essentially suggest that Mandelson shared confidential government information with Epstein. There was emails suggesting Epstein made up to $75,000 in payments to Mandelson in 3 separate payments between 2003 and 2004. Mandelson said previously that he believes he's not acted criminally and is cooperating with the police. His bail conditions were lifted last week though, and he remains under police investigation.
I'm not 100% sure the legality of his case, so I don't know exactly. I don't know whether it's. I can't remember exactly whether it's active or not at the moment. I will look into it, but what I do know is obviously he was arrested. He was released pending further investigation. Now, Lord Mandelson has been involved. Peter Mandelson, to give his name, has been involved in our government for many, many, many years. He was actually one of the architects of New Labour, which was obviously Tony Blair, Gordon Brown. He was one of, actually, they used to call him Bobby. If you know your history, do you remember Bobby Kennedy, who was John F. Kennedy's brother, and their close relationship that they had in the US government? Well, actually, his nickname was Bobby. He's that close to Tony Blair, is what I'm saying. So he was a very, very, very close figure. Very, very massively disturbing the fact that he had such a close personal friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Because, well, I mean, it begs the question, how close can you be to someone without truly knowing who they are? And that's speculation. I don't know. We can't really go into that. What we do know is that the government knew, the Prime Minister knew, of the association, of the close personal friendship, and yet the PM went and appointed him as an extremely important role, US ambassador. As you would know, as our North America correspondent,
I mean, well, yeah, he did say, Sir Keir has taken full accountability for the appointment. He said, "It was me that made a mistake, and it's me that makes the apology to the victims of Epstein, and I do that."
Yeah,
I think
too little, too late.
Yeah, and as we mentioned previously, another U-turn, which were the comments of Kemi.
Yeah.
I think he's good at them. Well, I mean, what do you make of it? Do you think that there was a cover up? Because
let me say this: I would hate it if I ever called an Uber and Keir came to give me a ride. I know I'm not getting home because he's going to be making U-turn after U-turn. He doesn't know what direction he's going in. Honestly, he'd be an awful taxi driver. I'd hate to get into
it'd be
a
an
vehicle.
even worse sat nav.
Honestly, it'd be. Could you imagine a sat-nav made by Keir Starmer? Take the next left, take the next right. Actually, no, I'm going to go centre instead.
Release the sausages.
But he says that he says I refute a spokesperson said I refute a suggestion of a cover-up. The government's complied fully. And like you said, it was me who made the mistake, and it was this is what you've just said, Ian. He said that the Prime Minister that he made a mistake and he apologised to the victim of Epstein, and I do that. What I can't get my head around is Jeffrey Epstein was convicted in 2018.
Yeah,
He died in 2019.
Yeah.
We're getting on for 8 years now. Where actually no, he was convicted, but this is the crazy thing. I don't know if you know this. He was convicted years before in the 2000s of
initially, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is people known about this man legally on record since about 2006, 2009, something like that. Many, many, many years. Okay. If you're going through your files like Downing Street, you're the Prime Minister, you see anything pop up Epstein in someone's file who you're thinking of appointing, why on earth would you appoint them in the first place?
It's an absolutely great question, and it's one that I don't have the answer to. I mean, it's a conspiracy theorist dream, this. It's probably one of the biggest scandals in the history of the world.
I'm going to be honest, Aiden, it's not even conspiracy theory anymore. It is literally just a conspiracy right there.
I mean, who is Jeffrey Epstein?
That's a great question. This is what I know about him and his influence over governments. It's very creepy, but so he started out in New York in the 80s. He was a school teacher actually in a girls' school before. That's probably where he began his career, if you know what I mean. Oh. But he was a teacher. He got sacked in the 70s. He went to a banker's something burn. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, he went to a New York banker's. Allegedly, that's where he actually made friends with the Trump family in New York in the 80s. Yeah. Very, very plausible because obviously they all come from there and rolling around in a lot of money. And then from there, he began as a banker essentially, and that's where it just escalated. That's where it built and built and built. His close relationship with politicians, all American politicians, and obviously politicians from all around the world as well, people involved in different governments. But who exactly he is and why, I couldn't tell you. I don't know if anyone knows. I
mean, I've heard loads of conspiracy theories online.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them from outrageous to plausible. I think nobody knows.
Yeah, the most outrageous I've heard is links to Mossad.
I heard that one.
Yeah, Israel, something like that.
I've seen a well-presented argument on that, and I thought, is it too outrageous?
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's one of a minute where it's all speculation.
Yeah. It is just speculation. We are just speculating. We have genuinely no idea. There's been no.
Don't sound so suspicious, Edge.
There's been no like verified.
We promise you, we do not know.
You won't see Ivan or James in the Epstein files, I promise you. But we haven't actually no idea. There's been no verified reports on who he was, how he got so close to these important people and people. But it's quite scary that Mandelson is someone who was involved in making decisions in people's lives, and was in a position of immense trust. I mean, he was in the House of Lords, for goodness sake. You can't really get more.
Unless you're the PM himself, then you can't really.
I'll be honest with you. I think we trust in this country. We trust Lords more than in people in the House of Commons in the government sometimes, because you say Lord so and so makes a statement.
He's a lord. He is a lord.
He's a lord, and if a Baroness makes a statement, a life peer. Which another thing actually, I don't know if you saw. This is going off slightly off topic, but do you see no hereditary peers in the House of Lords are all going to be abolished?
Oh, really?
Yeah, a bill was passed yesterday. So what's going to happen? They're not all going to be suddenly pushed out, but the last Labour government in the early 90s, voted to get rid of most hereditary peers. And now the hereditary peers that are currently in the House of Lords, they'll be made into life peers, which means that the title will die with them. So it won't be passed on to their children, if that makes sense.
So it'll just be abolished completely.
Yeah, so hereditary peers, when the current generation of hereditary peers dies in... they will die with them, essentially. But yeah, but what I'm trying to say is people in the House of Lords have a massive, massive responsibility because they have so much trust in them. Even now, as trust in our political system has gone down a lot, people in the House of Lords still have a lot of trust because, like Lord Sugar, for example, Alan Sugar, we look at him and think very, very accomplished in business, knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And that's how most people get their life peers, essentially, unless, of course, they're hereditary peers. But yeah, obviously this is a situation we'll carry on monitoring, we'll carry on looking at. I mean, do you have any final thoughts on this before we move on? We can't really give too much hard facts because it's still unfolding. We're
still like the most of the public. We're still in the dark on a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think we would be having this conversation, even though it was 20 years on, if the current American government had. Because for all we know, they could have just been back of the cupboard somewhere, never to be seen, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So it just makes you think.
Yeah, it does make you think. We are going to move on now to. Shall we talk a bit about? Yeah, let's talk a bit about infrastructure. It's the last item on our agenda this evening in terms of news. So we've got Manchester City Council. They've announced a £21.32 million injection of cash for roads and infrastructure. Essentially, what we've got 1,340 kilometres of roads are going to be built, 2,600 kilometres of footways, 350 bridges and structures with extra funds for drainage and street cleansing as well. I nearly read that as extra fund for drain and then age and street, if you know what I mean, because Charlie, for some reason, cut the lines. But no, extra drainage and street cleaning. I think this is great. I don't exactly know where... I can't off the top of my head think where we need 350 extra bridges.
No.
And what these bridges, how big they're going to be. Maybe they're going to be like just...
the little crossover sort of...
Yeah, maybe.
Over the canal.
I can't imagine they're going to be like, it's
not going to be the Humber Bridge.
London Bridge, Humber Bridge, built in,
no.
The Tyne Bridge, whatever, built in the middle of Manchester. But no, it's good. I mean, I did a story.
I actually think, you've just made that point, I actually think they love bridges up in Newcastle. I don't know if you've ever been.
They adore bridges in Newcastle.
Maybe it's another 350 bridges, because I think they've already got something like 200.
Well, I think
they've already got loads of bridges.
I think you might be onto something there, because Manchester seems to be trying to copy every single city in the world. So we're trying to get the New York skyscrapers in.
Oh yeah.
We're doing the city centre to look like London. So maybe a bit of Newcastle.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you'll have if they try and do Dubai next, you'll have like camels and.
I don't think they'd survive in this rain.
And but no, it's But I was doing a story. In all seriousness, I was doing a story about a girl who a few weeks ago whose tyre hit a pothole. Now it wasn't in Manchester city centre; it was in Salford City. It's in Salford, so this came under the jurisdiction of Salford City Council. Who, by the way, so the story was she was driving along, hit a pothole, and her tyre blew out on the M60. So it's great to hear that something hopefully will be done about improving the roads in Manchester. Salford Council, we need you to get onto it as well.
I mean, I think this is a story. You drive, I drive. This is a story close to both of us, and I think something needs to be done, and it's finally being done.
We're talking about Manchester. We're talking about a win for Manchester City Council. Shall we talk about a big L for Manchester City? Coming up in the sport next.
Online and on the TuneIn app, this is Utter Radio Sports. I've just
all the words in my head were blown away by the genius of having. I can't believe we got jingles back.
We've got the jingle
But
back.
anyway, let's move on because Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham all lost, whilst Arsenal and Newcastle drew. In case you're a bit slow, not a single win for any of our Premier League teams in Europe so far. Villa played tonight, so that's probably going to be another loss. And then, what was the... is the Conference League as well? Oh, are Forest been knocked out already?
No, Forest are through.
Right, they're through. Who are they playing, do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
No. Well, they're playing Midtjylland.
I think it's Midtjylland, yeah.
Yeah, and then I imagine Palace are playing someone in the Conference League later. But let's go through these scores. Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0. So, Galatasaray isn't your isn't your Turkish team, is it?
I prefer Fenerbahce, but do you know what?
Fenerbahce, yeah.
I like it when a Turkish team does well.
Yeah, well, there you go. I guess some consolation for Aydin there. And it's Liverpool as well, if that means anything.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Liverpool obviously not out of it. They play at Anfield next, so they could easily turn it over, couldn't they? But
Yeah.
a bit of a stinky loss for them. My flatmate was happy, although he thinks that it could have been a win for them because he's a Newcastle. Well, he's from Newcastle. He's a Georgia lad. So 1-1 against Barca. I'm gonna get to the really stinky ones at the end. So Bayern 1, Arsenal 1. Arsenal should have had a pen, should they?
Ooh, that's a controversial one. I think the majority of people say yeah, and I think if you actually watch it back, it's like
Right, producer Charlie just said in our ear it's never a pen. But
I don't know. I'm torn on that one.
He is a Londoner though, and obviously he's not going to like Arsenal.
And I don't think it doesn't matter where you're from, unless you're an Arsenal fan. I don't think you like Arsenal.
This is true, but obviously we go for we're objective and clear-minded on this show.
Of course.
So
I do think it would have been harsh if it was given.
yeah,
It's one of them where it's very harsh if it's given, but if you look at it from a certain angle, you can see.
shall we get into the real stinkers, like the real ones that make you? So I'm not sure because they all remarkably all of them were by a 3-0 margin or 3-goal margin. Sorry, all the defeats. The real heavy defeat. I'll start with your Manchester City. So Real Madrid 3, Manchester City 0. Very quickly, if you can be quick on Manchester City, what went wrong, Aiden? How did it all fall apart for the?
So
for City.
I love the accent there. No, it wasn't great. Last night they went into the game almost. Well, Mbappe, Bellingham, Rodrigo, 3 of the big 4 for Real Madrid, all injured.
All out, yeah.
And I almost think
they don't have a proper manager either. They have an interim, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, if City were gonna go and win at the Bernabeu, this was the year. And
for sure.
And just, I mean, my opinion personally, they went in with a lack of respect for Real Madrid. I think they went in and said, "Okay, we're gonna go and go for the head.
Yeah,
we'll go and get a few goals." Looking at the lineup, he's gone very attacking.
Do you think there was an arrogance there?
Yeah, I do. I think it's just it was a disaster selection from the start. Let's be clear. I mean, as good as he was against Newcastle, you can't play a Savinho at the Bernabeu with only in his second game back in about 2 months, and even before that he wasn't great. You cannot play him in a game at Real Madrid, especially when you had form players like Cherki, who didn't start, influenced the game tremendously when he came on.
Foden on the bench.
But Foden's not been in greatest of form. I think having Marmoush on the bench, however, was a big mistake.
So Johnny Reinders on the bench as well. He usually plays when he usually starts when he's fit.
Yeah, and I think it was partly down to just. I just think you can never underestimate Real Madrid.
Has Rodri been the same since he came back from his ACL?
I don't think there was a problem necessarily with Rodri last night. I think he's actually had some games where he's been very good. some a bit off it, but as he's got back in, you can see the signs emerging of what he was.
Yeah.
And I do think it takes a long time, a good 18 months, I would say, to get back to where you was before an ACL injury.
Well, shall we move on to the final two doing? Because I'm saving. You know which one I'm saving until last.
Well, yeah.
But we're going to do PSG 5, Chelsea 2. Do you know what? Obviously, it was a bit disgusting, but sorry. Quickly before we do you think City can turn it around? Yes or no? At the Etihad.
My heart says yes. My head says not really. No. I think just 3-0 is too much. You can't. You've got to bring at least. You've got to bring a close game back.
Yeah.
And I know. I seen actually.
It could be 3-3 and go to pens.
I seen it's been done once before by an English team against a Spanish team, where Pep Linders was the assistant. And in 2019, Liverpool lost 3-0 away at Barcelona, with Barcelona missing a great chance at the end of the game, and obviously Real Madrid did miss that penalty in the second half. And they brought it back to England.
The script could be written.
They brought it back to England, and obviously that famous Origi goal, 4-0 to Liverpool.
Well, I'm going to sacrifice one. Paris Saint-Germain 5, Chelsea 2. We could go through it, but
I mean, what is there to say other than
Firstly, PSG are a very, very, very good team. You can't deny that. They are an excellent side. I remember when they nearly... Villa were lucky to escape only losing 3-0 a couple of years ago when they played there. And obviously it was a miracle that they managed to beat them on the night. I don't know if you remember in the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's the first time I sort of laid eyes on PSG across those two legs. And they're an excellent side. I love that Vitinha is a great player. That
what a player.
Yeah.
What a player.
Top player. Pedro Neto had a little fight with the ball boy. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
So a bit of frustration boiling out there from Chelsea.
And how are you not going to mention Kvaratskhelia, 2 goals. He was immense.
He was top form, top player.
Coming off the bench.
But
did you see that finish? It was unbelievable for the 4th goal. World class. Just curled it right round the defender into the right corner. It was just unbelievable. I think Chelsea as well. They got punished with the goalkeeper's mistake.
Yeah, but I mean, so Charlie's written us a text that said, "Should Neto be punished for pushing the ball boy?" Yeah, but I don't think he pushed him, but I think the ball boy made a bit of a meal of it, if I'm honest. But he shouldn't have never laid hands on him. That's just goes without saying, really.
Yeah, I think it'll be nothing more than a fine. I think the ball boy, that doesn't happen every time. That happens when the ball boy provokes or does something. Not always, but most of the time. And
well, for me, it's just a case of we have to lay down a precipice. Like, just because he might not have reacted, just because it wasn't the most violent of attacks from the ball boy, we can't. I think Neto does need to be punished to tell others that you can't just get away with it. But that's the only. Shall we address the elephant in the room or not? As you know, forget it, never mind.
I know, but you know what we're laughing at? We're laughing at. We've got on the screen here Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham Hotspur 2.
Actually, now the funny thing is, Charlie, I don't know if this will be possible. Would you be able to put the first couple of minutes on the screen so that we can react to it in real time? Because this is special. We can't do that. That's a shame. We'll just have to go off. At least put on the BBC if you can. Put on the.
Well, shall I kick it off?
Yeah. Let's get into it. So basically, as I say, Atletico Madrid 5, Spurs, who are somehow still in the Champions League, 2.
Wow, that was a.
Tell me where it all fell apart for the defence.
From minute 1, really. Yeah, it wasn't great, I have to say. Spurs are just awful. I mean, I remember a game a few years ago, and I think this was under Ange, and there was I want to say 4. I think there was 5-0 down at Newcastle in 25 minutes, and I thought it was going to be the same. There was 4-0 down.
It wasn't Ange. It was no one can remember who it is. There was this interim.
Was it Ryan Mason?
No, it was Stellini. That's him, the Italian fella. Between Conte and. I think was it Conte?
Conte
or
and Ange. It was
No,
between,
Conte. Yeah,
because it was Conte's
you're
right
right.
hand man.
It was Conte between Conte and Ange. It was yes, you're right. Stellini. I can't remember anything about him. All I remember is getting absolutely ragdolled 5-1 in the end.
Yeah,
Newcastle ripped them to strips. 6-1. That was it. 6-1. I'm sure it was like 4-5-0 in the first 10 minutes, 15, something like that. And I just remember goal after goal going in, listening to it live on the radio, thinking we could get to 10-11 here. I don't know why they stopped. I don't know why they didn't carry on.
No, I know. But shall we rip the Band-Aid off for Spurs?
Yeah.
Kinski, the goalkeeper, he had an absolute mare. That's a nice way to put it.
Let's be completely honest here. We're quite used to career-ending injuries. Career-ending performances, though.
How about career-ending substitutions? Because this guy could never get a top job after this.
No.
I mean, right.
But
so,
to be fair, I don't think his manager should either.
No. So for those who didn't see the game last night, Kinski, for the first goal, I want to say, he just completely slipped and basically give the ball to Atletico Madrid in front of their own net and scored.
Yeah.
And then he did the same for the third one, in which time it was the 17th minute, only the 17th minute in the game, and Tudor went, He took his goalkeeper
And
off.
what was the score by this time?
This was the third goal. So he literally, for those who didn't see the game,
Yeah.
Kinski literally fell over the ball. He had the ball passed back to him. He basically fell over the ball and gave him an open net. They just literally walked it in the net.
Now, Tudor has come under a lot of criticism for taking off in the 17th minute. But would it be more cruel? I think
Would it be more cruel to keep him out there?
would
It's
it
a
be
good
more
question.
cruel to keep him on the pitch? Because if he's having absolute stinkers, like he's gifted 3 goals already.
Yeah, I mean he's a young keeper. He's started this game, and well, I mean maybe he's protecting him rather than like criticising him.
If he subbed him at half time,
Would have been more respectable.
To the outward
So
world,
you go into the tunnel at half time and you don't come back out.
Yeah, but like, who's to say Tottenham would have been 7 or 8 down at that point?
Yeah.
Because you're asking the goalkeeper to do simple things like come for a cross at that point. He's already given 3 goals away. He's not going to be able to come for a cross. He's going to be questioning every single decision he's making. He's not going to be... The headspace is going to be completely gone. I don't think that his manager... I think his manager was wrong for starting him in the first place over Vicario, if Vicario's fit. But is it... I don't know. Because even as I'm saying it in real time and reconsidering that, because if you've got a fit squad, right, and you want to change things around and give young players...
You don't do it in a Champions League away game at Atletico Madrid.
Hold on. If Kinski had put in a great performance on another day, wonderful performance, everyone's saying, yeah, what a decision that was. Giving a young player a chance in a game like this, fantastic opportunity. That's what people be saying. People only react to what goes on the pitch. They won't be saying that beforehand. So, and let's be honest, football managers aren't omnipotent. They're not God. They can't see what's going to happen in the future. I think Tudor, it looked bad. I think he probably, taking him off, I think was the kindest thing he could have done.
I'm going to disagree with you here. I think... Right, first of all, Kinski played, prior to this game, 180 minutes all season.
Right.
That's a fact.
That does change it a little bit.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
He went straight down the tunnel when he came off.
Yeah.
There was no, consolation with the manager.
Okay.
I almost think...
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I almost think that he's made the decision to start him. The first goal's gone in and he said, I've made the wrong decision. And then he's gone all out and just dragged him off. And then he's almost just, I think it's very selfish from the manager. I think it's his mistake. And a young player with potential, because if he didn't have potential, he wouldn't be at Spurs. I do think that it was just, the manager's put him in an awful position. And as a young player, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen seen it, before. Anything can happen in these games.
Oh, hold on now, because Charlie's found us. I think he's found us a statement that Kinksky made actually. This is on The Independent. He wrote on his Instagram story on Wednesday evening. He said, "Thanks for all the messages from dream to nightmare to dream again. Interesting. See you. That's that. I don't know exactly. What did you mean by dream again?
I don't think this will be the end for him. I mean, we've seen similar
Are you
situation with Karius, the
It was
Liverpool
pretty much the end for
goalkeeper.
him. It was basically.
Maybe at Spurs, not elsewhere. Maybe at Spurs. I think.
I'll be honest. Do
Do you not just think it summarises their season though?
Oh, what's this? Kinksky wrote, as a goalkeeper... Oh, right. So this was his original statement, okay. This is in full, not in summary. This is a screenshot taken from his Instagram story. He says, as a goalkeeper... Actually, do you want to read it for us?
Yeah, so Kinski on Instagram said, as a goalkeeper, you dream of big nights like this, but sometimes football is cruel and everything seems to go wrong at once. I take full responsibility for my mistakes, which I'm going to say is a good first line. It's a good response. He then went on to say, being taken off so early was painful, and walking off the pitch was one of the toughest moments I've experienced as a player. But I also know this is part of football. You fall and you find the strength to stand up again. I'm grateful to my teammates and the fans who continue to support me even in moments like this. Your support means more than you know. I promise I'll keep working harder every single day to come back stronger and prove myself again.
I do feel bad for him. Obviously, it's horrible to be humiliated like that at work in front of the watching world,
in front of the whole world.
Yeah, that is horrible.
It's not great, and I think the statement is a solid statement. I think the manager's to blame.
Yeah,
I think he never should have been in there in the first place.
I think 108 minutes. Yes,
the whole season.
I agree. A whole season is, and then you're starting him in domestic cup games, aren't you? If you're going to give him a chance,
that's what I mean. And it's like having, you just unnecessarily throwing heat onto an already burning situation. You're basically throwing him into the cauldron. I mean, how many harder games are you going to get as Tottenham going away to Atletico Madrid, where it's going to be hostile, it's going to be heated, the crowd is going to be on you, especially the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good situation.
Well, from the heat of the pitch, to the heat of the track, a James Bond classic. Right, shall we talk about Formula One very quickly to finish up? As we get toward the end. So, have F1 cars been ruined after the changes to the rules? That's the headline that we've got here. Because we were talking the praises of the cars last week.
Yeah.
But can you talk us through kind of what's developed since then?
Well, yeah. So we had the first race on Sunday.
Which was in Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a Mercedes 1-2, so it was George Russell topping the grid with Kimi Antonelli behind him, and then behind them was the two Ferraris.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. I think we had mixed reactions. I mean, do you want to tell us what did Max
Max says that he wishes the sport was more fun. He says that he doesn't really enjoy driving the car, but enjoys working with his team.
I think it's a
strange
and
one.
Max finished, I think, 6th in the end. So he was.
No, if Max had won, do you think he'd said that?
Well, it's interesting when you say that, because Lewis Hamilton said he loved it.
He did. Yeah.
He said the race was really fun to drive. He said there was good battling back and forth.
Yeah, and he also said that everyone's quick to criticise things. You need to give it a shot. We're 22 drivers. What does he mean by you need to give it a shot? Do you think?
He's basically just saying that the rules have been here for what, like, this is the first
I see.
race.
Yeah, in regards to the rules, right? Yeah.
The changes of the cars and everything.
We've had the best cars and the least tire degradation, and we're the happiest we've been. Everyone's moaning that the racing's rubbish. I mean, it's only one race into the season. It's a bit soon to be saying how boring or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, I think Max Verstappen as well is known for that sort of like. He's almost known for that sort
Being
of comment.
A bit of a sore loser.
Bit of it.
Shall we have a look at the F1 standings before we really get into the wraps of it? Charlie, can you get the standings up for us?
Yeah, we'll get the race up. It was, however, the Mercedes who came out in top.
Yeah.
In Melbourne. Both drivers for Mercedes finished first and second.
Yeah.
It was a dominant display.
I don't know if I asked you this last week, but what are your predictions for the F1 season?
Well, with the regulations, I know people who are experts have been following along closely, and throughout the pre-season, most people had Mercedes as favourite.
Yeah.
Coming out of the rule changes, just the better, and I think you can see that. I mean, in the standings, it was a disaster for constructors champions McLaren, who I want to say Oscar Piastri didn't even start the race.
All right.
Which was a disaster really for McLaren.
So I thought they build on their success from last year actually.
Yeah, but it's like there's nothing to build on. It's like momentum's halt. We've got whole new rules because this is the biggest rule changes since many years anyway, and it's gonna take people time to adjust and to get used to it. Yeah. It's almost like a similar thing in football with VAR, where it's like at first you'll see the backlash, and I mean you can't judge it off one race. You got to go to different tracks, different environments. Get it in the get in the wet and see what happens.
So where's the racing next race?
Good question, because we've had obviously what's going on in the Middle East is
that's a massive factor actually.
So
and there's loads of races in the Middle East.
Yeah, they do races in
right, so
Bahrain,
it's China,
Qatar, Saudi Arabia.
Right, so it's China in Shanghai on the 15th of March. That'll be at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Which is a more respectable time than
for us
absolutely.
Anyway. I do love a bit of F1, but 4 o'clock I can't be doing that.
I think 7 a.m. I think I'll actually this is a rogue one, but at 7 a.m. I will literally I'll be just getting off the coach.
Oh yeah, where are you going?
I'm going City West Ham. Producer Charlie's West Ham. They will be getting mauled by Manchester City hopefully on Saturday night, and then I've got the overnight coach back, which should get me back in Manchester for around
that's lovely little away day.
6-ish, and then back, and then the F1,
and then F1
to start my morning.
So
if I'm not already shattered.
To complete this month, we'll have China and Japan. The Japanese Grand Prix will be at the Zuka circuit. On the 29th, that'll be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, let's very, very quickly just to say that again, Charlie. Oh, producer Charlie's just asked Norius who's going to win the Chinese Grand Prix, but I was yapping so I couldn't hear. Who do you think is going to win it? Do you know what? I'm going to go for another. No, do you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out.
Go on.
I think. Because Ferrari did
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say? Because I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to say what you're going to say.
I think Lewis. I think.
Oh, I was going to say Charles Leclerc. I think he's going to win it on Sunday.
I think probably Charles Leclerc will probably. I think it's going to be either Lewis or Leclerc. If someone from Ferrari, I think will win it.
Wow, that would be a big statement in response to the Mercedes start that we had at the weekend.
But I think it's been a while since Hamilton finished on top. I think it was the British Grand Prix last race, wasn't it?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I think he'll get his first podium in a while. Sorry, his first win.
I think he'll be on the podium. I think he'll be on the podium.
But Ferrari for me will definitely be on the podium. I think Ferrari will look to. I think they'll be heavyweights in the Constructors' Championship this year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah. Right. Today was day 3 of Cheltenham, which kicked off on Tuesday this week, and yesterday was marred by the death of a second horse, which fell at the final flight. Paul Townend is the leading jockey so far at Cheltenham. He has 3 winners and 4 runners up from 11 rides so far. Harry Skelton is in second place with 2 winners, a second place and 3 thirds. Willie Mullins is the leading trainer with 5 wins, and Nicky Henderson has 3. Aaron, do you want to quickly run through the day 1 winners for us?
Yeah, so the 120 Old Park start in the Supreme Novices Hurdle, and then the 2 o'clock was Cargese in the Arkle, followed by at the 2:40 was Saratoga.
Blimey, what a name!
Saratoga in the McCoy Contractors Juvenile Handicap Hurdle. God, that was a mouthful. And then the 3:20, Johnny Hu was the winner in the Ultima Handicap Chase, and then at 4, Lossiemouth in the Champion Hurdle, and at 4:40 was Madara in the Racing Plate, and then to finish it up for day 1, at 5:20, Holloway Queen in Steeplechase Challenge Cup.
There we go. And got Wednesday winners now. I'll read that. So at 1:20, King Rasco Gray in the Novice Hurdle. At 2 was Kitchbuell. What's
Kitzbühel.
Kitzbühel. In the Novice. Why can't they just call the horses John or Harry? Or,
Dave.
Oh, Dave, yeah. Anyway, in the Novices Chase. Today at 2:20 was Jinko Blue in the Handicap Hurdle. 3:20 final orders in the Handicap Steeplechase. At 4 was a French horse. Il Temps in the Queen Mother Champion Chase at 20-5 or 4:20 is Martator in the Grand Martator in the Grand Annual Chase, and 5:20 in the Moor Rambler in the Champion Bumper. Future Charlie, never give us Cheltenham ever again. That was absolutely.
Was that your horse?
Oh no!
Right, we've got the lineup for tomorrow, but can I just say, was that your horse, the Moor Rambler?
The more. Yeah, that's the one I put my money on all the time.
The Moor Rambler. Right.
These ones aren't that bad, actually.
Right. Cheltenham's Gold Cup Day lineup for tomorrow is 1:20, JCB Triumph Hurdle. Then we've got at 2 o'clock the William Hill County Handicap Hurdle. At 2:40 we've got Mrs. Paddy Power Mares Chase. 3:20 Albert Novices Hurdle. 4 o'clock Boodles Cheltenham Gold Cup Chase. 4:40 St James's Place Festival Hunters Chase. And then at 5:20 we got Martin Pipe Conditionals Jockey Handicap Hurdle.
Yeah. Is that it? Right.
That's
don't come to me for expert analysis on Cheltenham because I hate horse racing. Do you like horse racing?
I mean, you've seen it this week with the horses dying. It puts you off slightly, doesn't it? I mean, we've seen the likes of Danny Dyer, Sir Alex Ferguson, Luke Littler, Harry Redknapp
standing around the day.
I know Sir Alex actually. He's into his horse racing.
He owned a horse. Right. Tom Sharp in the gallery just said that he thinks horse racing is alright until they start jumping over the hurdles. That's what he said, wasn't it? And he says that's a bit cruel. I would agree with him. To be honest, I think any sport where horses always end up dying is
not great.
It isn't great. But anyway, look, we're going to conclude here. It's been a good show. Thank you again for coming, Aiden. And I've been James, and you can tell I've been actually ill this week. So I managed to pull myself through the wind and the rain to get here today. But no, it's been a good show. We'll be back next week with more news and sport in the week, rounding up all the goings on. But thank you very much. Have a good evening. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Keep up to date with the latest news at utterradio.co.uk.
This is Utter Radio.